So we got Donnell Rawlings, and he's talking about Joe Rogan to Shannon Sharp. I'm interested in this conversation because, bro, Joe make a lot of motherfuckers rich, especially them white people. So I'm interested to see what Donnell Rawlings has to say because they be hanging out sometimes. Tim and Dave Chappelle hang out with Joe Rogan, and Shannon Sharp low key wants to be the black Joe Rogan, even though he's signed to a white man and Colin Cowherd. But that's a topic for another day. But I do want to just hear what they got to say about this real quick. You know what I'm talking about?
You're friends with Joe Rogan, right?
Yeah.
Joe went from I didn't know Joe was a comedian.
Yeah.
When I first was introduced to Joe Rogan was Fear Factor.
Right. A lot of people.
And then the next thing I know, he's basically the voice of the UFC. He's calling fights. And then obviously he's a pretty good stand-up comedian from what I hear.
Yeah.
I don't, really get into it like that. So what is the yin and the yang? How did you and Joe become cool?
Well, Joe, we became, first off, I know of Joe from
Man, don't nobody really know Joe Rogan for the comedy. Let's just keep it a buck. Joe Rogan is the UFC guy. He's the Fear Factor guy, and he's just the biggest podcaster in the world, which is okay. His passion is comedy, but Joe Rogan really ain't the greatest comedian, but he's probably arguably the greatest UFC analyst, the greatest podcaster, and one of the greatest TV show hosts. So that's a pretty damn good trio. He loves comedy the most, but he's probably the worst out of those four things I'm named. He's probably the worst at comedy. Let's keep it a buck.
Fear Factor from Chappelle Show.
Okay.
And then he was like a really big part of the Comedy Store vibe there. Like he's been a big name for years. And of course his podcast. But I never ever was like, hey Joe, I'm so and so and so and so. My introduction to people, I want them to see me perform.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I wanted to see me perform. He would see me in passing the Comedy Store. And then he knew my reputation that I was a funny guy.
Okay.
Then we exchanged words, whatever. And then one thing led to another where I did his podcast. And it was interesting because I heard Miss Pat was on the show.
Yes.
And Miss Pat was like, people got upset with her because she kept it real.
Right.
And I'll double down and say, I know that's his character. Because when I did his podcast for the first time, I was like, I want to come off the road, man. I don't want to work as much on the road because I want to spend more time with my son, but I don't make money in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I need to make money in Hollywood. He was like, just start a podcast. I'm like, it's not that simple. He was like, and I'm saying to myself, ain't no money in podcasts like that. And then I Googled him. I was like, okay, so let's talk about that.
Nah, real talk. Joe Rogan go put you on. That's one thing about Joe Rogan, bro. People say what they want. He became a boomer. I ain't gonna cap. He been speaking a lot of, you know what I'm saying, politics and all that. He sounded like just an old white guy that's a part of the establishment at this point. But I love Joe Rogan for everything he stand for, and he help everybody he come into contact with that he vibe with. So shout out to that. But he getting too much money now to stay the same. He ain't the same. I'm gonna keep it a buck. But he get too much money to stay the same. And he still put niggas on. Even niggas, real talk. Miss Pat, Donnell Rawlings, he put niggas on. I think he just had bro from Wu-Tang on. So
Let's talk about that, right?
But he at the top of the food
But
chain.
this is what I'm gonna tell you. This is what I want to say. And when I watched the one Miss Pat, I was like, she right. That's the type of person he is.
Mm-hmm.
But our own people are so critical of each other. When Joe said, Donnell, I was like, how do I get subscribers like that? He said, just do a podcast on a tape recorder, anything. Just do it. I'll tweet it out. You'll get some licks off of that. Then you do all the other podcasts. Next thing you know, be on.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? I did it. I came out the gate with like 7,000 subscribers off of that. And people can say what they want to say. I'm so sick of the black, white, that type of shit. There's some people that stand up people and they say what they're going to do.
Right.
He's one of them.
Mm-hmm.
As much as people want to say, well, the people behind him, they're not funny. Guess what them white boys have figured out a thing to do? They figured out a way to make each other rich.
Yes. They support each other.
They have a system.
They just support each other.
They have a system. They have a system. All right, this person.
that's real talk. Black people don't make each other rich, bro. And Joe Rogan and wife, they over there making each other rich. Bert Kreischer, never heard a joke from him. Tom Skerritt, never heard a joke from him. Ari Shaffir, never heard a joke from him. But I see him on Joe Rogan all the time, and I fuck with Joe Rogan. But I guess they doing their thing, but I've never heard a joke from him. Shout out Shane Gillis. I done heard some Shane Gillis. He pretty funny. Mark Norman be on Joe ass, but
Okay, let's say, guess what? Everybody ain't gonna be the funniest, but who's gonna be the best business people? Who's gonna be the best hustlers, whatever? And they have a system that they make each other stars.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Black people don't do that.
I want you to be a star. I just don't want you to be bigger than me. So if that means,
Yeah, you don't want me to be a star.
okay. Well, I want you to be a
That's
star.
why you don't want you. Oh, nah, let me be a star first.
Right.
They don't look at it like that.
No.
That crew, they can say, I don't give a. All right, you already heard my feelings about my son, so this can go wherever the goes. But where is that sense of unity? Always talk shit. Why isn't Spike Lee the most sought after director doing the biggest movies and everything? What y'all wanted? We want him to do black movies, blah, 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 blah. I'm doing black movies, black action, everything. Guess what? You ain't going to see my movies. Someone ain't no power.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Motherfucker be like, yeah, Spike Lee, he should be the biggest director. The fact that, like, link up with 50, do some shit. Black people don't do shit with each other, and then when you call them out, it's like, well, what would you do? You ain't got their money. How you gonna tell them what to do? Well, then shit. We either together or we apart. That's keep it a buck.
When does it stop? And at the end of the day, you can take race and everything away. You got good people and bad people.
Yeah, on both sides, absolutely.
And a relationship, no matter what anybody thinks about Rogan, whatever the relationship I have with him, he's always been a stand-up guy to me, always pick up my call, and always been like, do you need anything? I got you.
You can only base what you know about a person through personal experience.
Right.
So somebody else judging Joe Rogan that's never been around Joe Rogan, and you having a personal relationship with Joe Rogan and saying, this is how he is with me.
But you can't do that, Shannon, because people want the relationship they have with you, they want you to have a similar relationship.
They do.
They want you to have a similar relationship. I give you an example, Kid Rock.
Yes.
Kid Rock's a good friend of mine. I met Kid Rock doing when we was doing the summer shows in Ohio. Because Kid Rock is a provocateur. He says some dumb shit out of his mouth sometimes. I get that. I think it's two people. I think it's Bob Ritchie and it's Kid Rock.
Right.
Kid Rock is a provocateur that wants to talk some shit and get you stirred up. Bob Ritchie is a person I met in Yellow Springs, Ohio, when nobody want to talk to him, nobody want to take a picture with him. We floating down the river and I'm talking to him.
Right.
And he's right beside me on a boat saying, Donnell, I feel like I just went through 12 hours of anger management. Thank you. I saw a guy that...
Man, I don't know about the Kid Rock shit. Some of these motherfuckers, these white folks do be racist, but some of you white folks will help black people out more than black people. But at the end of the day, man, I rock with black folks. I rock with anybody that rock with me. But some of these white folks ain't a little shady. Kid Rock seem a little, I don't know.
That's the one that I know.
Right.
I saw a guy that was doing a comedy festival in Nashville. Donnell, I think you're funny. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for showing me love, whatever. Would you be interested in doing this? I saw a guy that had a show, the Grand Ole Opry, one of them white establishments, you want to say. I did the show. 7 comedians. 6 of them white. I'm the only black comedian. I go on last. I close the show. Shannon, I knew when I went out there, it was all MAGAs. It was all MAGAs. It was not somebody from the left. It was not an LBG. It was the only letters in there was MAGA. Capital. All I saw was Star Spangled Banner shit. You know what I'm saying? Red, white, and blue, God bless America. And I said to myself, oh man, fuck that. But I was like, what's my job? I'm a comedian. Can I go out here and rock these motherfuckers? I did. I closed the show, 35 minutes, no politics, no nothing, caught a standing ovation. At the end of it, backstage, Kid Rock, he said, man, I think we might have just brought America back together. I said, and don't separate it. That's it. But your, like you said, your personal experience is different from mine.
Yes.
And the person can be like this, but he said so-and-so. Do I give a about it? Yes. Do I tell him sometimes, come on, man, you can't say that.
Right.
It don't make no sense to say it. But and I say that's one of the things that I really appreciate about what I've built for myself with my following and everything is that if you come to one of my shows,
it's easier to defend a motherfucker like Kid Rock if you know him and you black. But like outside looking in, I don't know Kid Rock. Some of the shit he say is like, man, I don't want to know him type shit. So sometimes you do. I don't know. Like I ain't defending it. You can't just defend all this shit, bro. Just because you know a motherfucker, because they be fuck with you and then be like, I don't fuck with them other black folks type shit. You know.
It's not just all black people. It's not just all white people. It's a mix of everything. It's America.
Dating. You got a 9-year-old, old ass with a 9-year-old. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Why you wait so late?
Okay, now see Shannon, bro. See Shannon Sharp get to act. He get to doing some weird shit with his questioning, and he get to being on that chatty patty shit. It don't just be just organic conversation like Joe Rogan. I see Shannon Sharp low key look like he want this spot on the black side of things, or even he just want to compete for that type of spot. But he don't have organic conversations. He got them cars and he for the woo. Joe Rogan say he bring on people he actually want to talk to, And I don't know, Shannon Sharp, he got a good thing going, but he has too many questions. I seen that interview with Laurel Harry. He wasn't interested in the conversation. He trying to get clips. He trying to get shorts. He trying to look for the next Cat Williams shit to pop off. And nah, bro. But I agree with some of the shit Donnell was saying about Joe Rogan and how so many white folks get together and make each other rich, because Joe Rogan for sure did do that. But the thing about Shannon Sharp, man, you see that big V on his stuff, that be on all his stuff, that's Colin Cowherd. Colin Cowherd worked for Fox, you know what I'm saying, sports media, and that's a topic for another day. But all that V shit, that's Colin Cowherd shit. You just starting to see Shannon Sharp logo next to it. But even, yeah, man, he worked for a white man too, bro. Let's just keep it a buck. But, you know, I'm all for black supporting black. And I do agree that most black people don't want you to be bigger than them. So in that case, they don't want you to be big. But y'all let me know how y'all feel in the comments, man. Do we need to support black more? Well, of course we do. But y'all let me know in the comments, man. Can black people build a system to where we can make each other rich, or is that shit impossible? I'm out.